We start with the U.S. government shutdown, which is entering its third day, and President Donald Trump has called on Republicans to clear out dead wood, waste, and fraud from within the federal government amid the first shutdown in nearly 7 years. On Thursday, Trump announced on Truth Social that he'll be meeting with Budget Director Russ Vought to discuss temporary or even permanent spending cuts on what he described as Democratic agencies. Trump made it clear the two would determine which agencies would face funding cuts, a move that could lead to mass firings and irreversible damage to programs supported by Democrats. Trump openly celebrated what he called an unprecedented opportunity handed to him by Democrats. He linked his plans to the broader conservative blueprint known as Project 2025, a plan that aims to reshape the federal government around right-wing policies. In fact, in an interview with right-wing One America News Network, the president doubled down on the threats, suggesting that projects important to Democrats could be permanently canceled, saying he's allowed to cut things that should never have been approved and that he'll probably do exactly that.
Well, there could be firings, and that's their fault, and it could also be other things. I mean, we could cut projects that they wanted, favorite projects, and they'd be permanently cut. So you could say, a lot of people are saying Trump wanted this, that I wanted this closing, and I didn't want it. But a lot of people are saying it because I'm allowed to cut things that should have never been approved in the first place. And I will probably do that.
Budget Director Russ Vought has already signaled how the administration intends to use this moment, already announcing that $18 billion in federal funding would be held for two major infrastructure projects in New York City. Vought also confirmed the cancellation of several $1 billion worth of green energy initiatives in Democratic states. Meanwhile, the White House is preparing for layoffs of additional federal workers. Press Secretary Carolyn Leavitt said the job cuts were imminent, warning Democrats to act quickly if they want to spare their constituents further harm.
Look, it's likely going to be in the thousands. It's a very good question, and that's something that the Office of Management and Budget and the entire team at the White House here, again, is unfortunately having to work on today. These discussions and these conversations, these meetings would not be happening if the Democrats had voted to keep the government open.
Now, Democrats, for their part, say they're ready for talks, but only with credible partners. Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffrey said that Democrats are willing to meet with the president and vice president at any time, but he underscored the need for a real pathway to reopening the government.
This is day 2 of Donald Trump's shutdown, but it's day 256 of the chaos that the Trump presidency has unleashed on the American people. Republicans have shut the government down because they don't want to provide health care to working class Americans. House Democrats continue to be here on duty. House Republicans are on vacation. We are ready, we are willing, we are able to sit down with anyone, anytime, any place, including the president and the vice president, to try to find a path forward to reopen the government, enact a spending agreement that actually meets the needs of the American people while at the same time addressing the Republican health care crisis.
The shutdown itself has already suspended scientific research, economic reporting, and financial oversight, though major benefit programs like Social Security continue to function. On October 1st, the U.S. government shut down as Republicans and Democrats failed to pass a bill funding government service into October and beyond. The next vote in the Senate is expected today. However, Republican leaders have hinted at pulling their senators out of Washington if Democrats continue to block their plan, a move that could prolong the shutdown into next week and possibly beyond. With hundreds of thousands of federal workers on the brink of missing paychecks, an estimated $400 million in wages is lost every single day. Early polling, however, shows voters are blaming Republicans for the work stoppage, but that's not forcing Republicans to bend on Democratic demands. In fact, the stakes are only getting higher as it appears this shutdown could go into next week and maybe, just maybe, even beyond.
Firstpost now available in 9 languages on YouTube. English,
Stands at $36 trillion.
French,
Le FMI, comme
German,
Geschäftsführenden Direktor
Hindi,
$30 trillion kakarjo.
Indonesian,
Pemerintah tanpa pemeriksaan
Italian,
sekali radikali.
Japanese,
4兆ドル以上も
Portuguese,
por causa do próprio balanço patrimonial.
Spanish.
Beautiful bill.
Go to Settings, click on Audio Track and select a language of your choice. Be the first to know what's happening around you in your first language. Firstpost.